Hello everyone, how are you all? Hope all of you are well in this difficult situation. Welcome to my lecture series. Let me introduce myself. Myself Rinki Bhoumik, Assistant Professor, Department of Physics, GIS College of Engineering. Let me tell you about your paper name, paper code. The paper name is Physics 1, paper code is PH101. Credit is 3 and there will be 3 lectures per week. Total 36 number of lectures will be there for all of you. This is my 21st lecture. Today we are going to start a new topic, that is crystallography. Before we start about crystallography, let me tell you about what is crystal. There are three matters exist in our nature, as we know, that solid, liquid and gas. Now, in case of solid, the atoms can move randomly, not randomly, but they are actually fixed in a particular position. But in case of liquid, they can move, means the atoms can move, but there is a bonding between them, not so strong like solid. And in case of gas, there is no bonding, there is zero bonding between the atoms in the gas, so the atoms can move randomly. This is the basic difference between solid, liquid and gas. That's why solid has a particular shape, but the liquid and gas does not have particular shape. Now, what is crystal? Obviously, crystal is a solid. Now, the normal solids which we see in our daily life, like a table, chair, pen, whatever, book, everything is solid, but we never say them a crystal. Now, the general example of solid is which we use in our daily life, like a piece of sugar, and also we know about the diamond, piece of diamond. All these are solid, but they are called as crystal. Now, obviously, there is a basic difference between this normal solid and the crystal. Now, what is the basic difference between the normal solid, which actually called as amorphous solid, which I will discuss today. Now, we have to know about the basic difference between the crystalline solid and the amorphous solid. Now today we are going to discuss about introduction to crystal physics and crystalline solids. So first, if we want to know about the introduction of crystal physics, then first, these are the basic things. Here matter exists in three states, as we know, solid, liquid and gas. All these states are composed of atoms and molecules. When we focus the solids, they are classified into many steps on several properties like electrical, mechanical, magnetic and optical, thermal, etc. The main reason for these three types of properties of solids is their crystal structure. So what is crystal physics? What is crystallography? This is a branch of physics that deals with the study of all possible types of crystals. All possible types of crystals means there are many types of, there are some classification of the crystals. Okay. So what are the types of crystals and the physical properties of crystalline solids by the determination of their actual structure by using X-rays, neutron beams and electron beams. Using the X-rays and neutron beams and electron beams, we can know about the various types of crystal structure. Okay, so this kind of various types of crystal structure we can discuss in crystallography. Okay, so that we'll discuss today. Now here there are some properties of crystalline solids. Here first, the first property is a substance is said to be crystalline when the arrangement of units of matter is regular and periodic. Means if you go here in this figure, as you can see that here are some atoms, a number of atoms are there. Now in this number of atoms, if we can see that the atoms are arranged in a regular and periodic manner. If you can see there is regularity as well as periodicity is present here. So that is why it can be called as crystalline solid. But in a normal solid, if you observe, then you cannot find any periodicity or regularity in the atom. So that is why it is not called as crystalline solid. Now a crystalline material has directional properties and therefore called as anisotropic. Since it has directional properties, that's why means whenever you go in any direction you can get the same nature. That's why it has called directional properties. That is called anisotropic. But if it has not directional properties, then in that case it is called as isotropic property. Okay, isotropic substance it is called. Now a crystal has a sharp melting point. It has a sharp melting point. It possesses a regular shape. In normal solid, you cannot find this regular shape. And most importantly, this one is very important. If it is broken, all broken pieces have the same regular shape. Means if you break a chalk, okay, then you cannot find the same shape as it has. Okay, but in case of a diamond, if you break it, then you can get the same shape as previously it had. So that's why this is the speciality of the crystalline solid. So it possesses a regular shape, and if it is broken, all broken pieces have the same regular shape. Now this is another arrangement of crystalline solid. As we can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 and 15. Total 15 number of atoms are here. Now as we can see, each atom is present at the same position, and if you join them, then you can get a regularity. Now since it is in two dimension, so that's why the regular shape you are getting means the periodicity they have in a square manner. In a square manner the atoms are present. So that's why it is called as crystalline solid. But suppose these atoms does not present do not present in a regular manner, but they present in a random manner. In that case, what will happen that they will not be called as crystalline solid, but they will be called as non-crystalline solid or amorphous solid, because in that case there will be no periodicity. But suppose you are here. Now if you go to your right hand side, then the atmosphere or the nature of the atoms which you are getting, you will get same if you go to the left, if you go to the upward, or if you go to the downward. You will get the same environment. So this is called as crystalline solid. Now this is another example. The previous one was in 2 dimension, but here it is in 3 dimension. Now if you see, the atoms are arranged in a regular manner. Now but here the shape, but the regularity is in actually in cubic shape. Okay, so that is why, since it is in shape, that's why it can be called as crystalline solid. Now you see, at each corner there is one atom. Now this is green, this is blue. Also here blue green, again blue green. That means a periodicity, a specific regularity is present here in all over the structure. Now suppose you are here. Okay. Now if you go to the upward direction, then the atmosphere which you are getting, you will get the same atmosphere if you go to the right, if you go to the left, and if you go to the downward. That means in the whole structure, the periodicity is present in a well manner. So that's why this is called as crystalline solid. Next is solid. Okay, there is a classification, that is crystalline and amorphous. Now, atoms in an amorphous solid are arranged randomly. I said several times this one, that the atoms are present randomly. But here the atoms in a crystalline solid are arranged in a repetitive three-dimensional pattern and long-range ordered. Long-range ordered you can say, because if you go whenever, means if the range is very high, then from very beginning to the end you will get the same periodicity. Okay, that's why it is called as crystalline solid. Now all matters are crystalline solid, amorphous crystalline. So this is the basic difference between amorphous and crystalline solid. Atoms in a crystalline solid are arranged in a repetitive three-dimensional long range order, and here atoms in an amorphous solid are arranged in randomly no order. All metals are crystalline solids. Here many ceramics are crystalline solids, and some polymers are also called as crystalline solids. So by this difference, I hope the basic concept of about amorphous and crystalline solid is clear to all of you. Crystalline and non-crystalline. So the previous one was the difference. Now this is shown by the figure. Here the atoms are arranged in a regular manner, but here the atoms are arranged randomly. You see, if you go upward, downward, towards left, towards right, whatever, but you can get the same environment. But here you can see the atoms are arranged randomly. There is no particular arrangement. They just oriented here and there randomly. So this is the basic structure, and due to this kind of internal configuration, we get those kind of those basic difference. Okay, basic difference about the properties we get in crystalline and non-crystalline solids due to this cause. Next is that there are more differences between crystalline and amorphous solids. You must go through it, which will help you. Let's start with the first one. They have a definite shape and geometrical form. They do not have geometrical shape. This is because of the internal configuration. They have a sharp melting point. They melt over a wide range of temperatures. They are rigid and incompressible. They too are usually rigid but cannot be compressed to any appreciable extent. However, graphite is stopped because of its unusual structure. They give a clean cleavage, that is, break into pieces with plain surface. They have irregular cleavage. Means if you break a diamond, then you can get the same plain surface. But whenever you break a chalk, then you never can get the surface plain. You can check it. Okay. So it's very interesting. They have a definite heat of fusion. They do not have a definite heat of fusion. Anisotropic, that is, their mechanical properties and electrical properties depends on the direction along which they are measured. Means if you, as I said, that it has the anisotropic property. Means if you go to the different direction, then you can get the different properties. Means if the properties depends on the direction. But isotropic, they have similar physical properties in all directions because the constituents are arranged in random manner.
Crystalline and amorphous solids.
Now here is a video by which you will get more clear idea about the crystalline and amorphous solid.
Amorphous and crystalline solids. Two-dimensional structure of quartz. A crystalline solid consists of large number of small crystals having a definite geometrical shape. Crystals have long-range order, which indicates the regular pattern of arrangement of particles, which repeated over the entire crystal. Example, NaCl, sodium chloride. Quartz containing infinite chain of SiO4 units, etc. Anisotropy in crystals. Crystalline solids have sharp melting points. These are anisotropic in nature, which means that some physical properties like refractive index, electrical resistance show different values in different directions because the arrangement of the particles is different in different directions. Two-dimensional structure of quartz glass. An amorphous solid, in Greek amorphous means no form, consists of particles with a regular shape. The constituent particle has only short-range border. They have structures similar to that of liquid. Example, rubber, glass, etc. Amorphous solids do not have sharp melting points. They melt over a range of temperature, so these can be molded and blown into different shapes. These can be made crystalline by slow cooling their melt. Some of these solids have a tendency to flow very slowly, so these are also called pseudosolids or supercooled liquids. These are isotropic in nature. These exhibit same value of any physical property in any direction. These solids have many applications in our day-to-day life. Example, amorphous silicon as photovoltaic, material for converting sunlight to electrical energy. Amorphous and crystalline solids. crystalline and amorphous solids. There are two main classes of solids, namely crystalline and amorphous. Click on the links provided to know more. Crystalline solids. Observe the structure of the solids displayed on the screen. You can easily trace the regular repetitive pattern of the atoms or the molecules or ions. These types of solids are called crystalline solids. The crystalline solids have symmetrical shapes, flat, smooth, and plane faces, which meet at a characteristic angle. Crystalline solids are classified as single crystals and polycrystalline crystals. If the periodicity of the pattern is extended throughout the volume of the solid, then the solid is a single crystal. In a polycrystalline crystal, the periodicity of the pattern is interrupted at the boundaries. Crystalline solids have sharp melting point. All bonds have same strength in the case of crystals. Diamond, rock salt, mica, and sugar belong to this category. Amorphous solids. Like liquids, the atoms and the molecules of amorphous solids are not arranged in an orderly manner. But the difference between an amorphous solid and a liquid is that the atoms are rigidly fixed and they are not free to move as in liquids. Classes an amorphous solid
So I hope after seeing these two videos, the concept about crystalline and amorphous is more clear to all of you. Now let me summarize today's lecture. So first, we had gone through the introduction to crystal physics, where we had discussed about solid, liquid and gases, the three states which exist in our nature and we can see in our daily life. And then what is crystal structure, that is given here, and here it is also given that they are classified into many types based on several properties like electrical, mechanical, magnetic, optical and thermal. Now this is the definition of crystalline solid or crystallography, where we came to know that in crystallography we can know about different type of crystal structure, and here it is about the properties of crystalline solid, and here we came to know that it has regular and periodic arrangement, it is anisotropic, it has a sharp melting point, it has a regular shape. Here this is the basic structure of a crystalline solid, where the atoms are arranged in a regular manner. The previous one was basically two-dimensional and here it is three-dimensional structure. Now what is solid, means the classification. So one is crystalline and another is amorphous solid. Now the definition is given here. So this is the basic structure difference between crystalline and non-crystalline solid. This is crystalline and amorphous solid. There are huge differences. A number of differences are available here. You can collect it from here. So thank you for today. Hope today's lecture will help you to understand about crystalline and amorphous. Now the questions which can be from this chapter, the first question will be that what is crystalline solid. Next question will be what is amorphous solid. Next question, what are the differences between crystalline and amorphous? Also, there is what are the examples of crystalline solid that you have to know well, and also the questions are how many states exist in our nature, and with respect to, and what is the basic difference between them. Okay, means the I can ask you that why the solids have a particular shape, whereas the liquid does not have, and also the gas does not have. So then you have to know the basic difference between them, then only you can answer. And there is another question which I didn't discuss today, that what are the classification of crystalline solid. Okay, so if you go to the, if you go here, and
Crystalline and amorphous.
if you in this video it is given here, that is crystal solids can be two types. One is polycrystal, another is single crystal. Okay, so what is polycrystal, that you also have to know, means if there are some periodicity and if there is any obstacle between them. Okay, then if it is if it is broken by a path, you see here there are some periodicity. Here also the same periodicity is present, but it is interrupted here. So if any interruption is there between the periodicity, then it is called as polycrystal. But what is called single crystal? When the periodicity is present there without any interruption. Okay, they are just oriented in a for continuously. There is no interruption between them. There is no obstacle between them. That is called single crystal. Now, today's assignment for you is that write down the definition of single crystal and polycrystal. Okay. So in that case, I am just telling you shortly. You can prepare more good definition also. So, and I will hear from all of you later on. So what is single and polycrystal? Single crystal is nothing but when the periodicity is present without any interruption, then it is called as single crystal. But polycrystal is when the periodicity is present in a crystal, but with an interruption, and there can be more than one interruption also, then it is called as polycrystal. And also you have to know the examples of single and polycrystal also. So thank you for today, and if you have any question, any query regarding crystalline and amorphous solid, then you may ask. So thank you.